welcome. There's a brother here who come and requested that he does his IT class here. Alhamdulillah, he already started. So we're open. It's your center. It's not the board members are just facilitator, so we can all achieve the same goal. Alhamdulillah, I stood today just to say thank you, Jazakumullah khair, and may Allah help us all. And we ask your dua, we ask for your support, and in both ways. If you're doing something good, come and tell us you're doing this good so we can continue. If you're doing something wrong, come and tell us we're doing wrong so we can stop. Jazakumullah khair, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just want to make a few quick announcements, inshallah. I'll keep it quick. Today was our second last iftar. Inshallah, tomorrow, well, actually, before I go to iftar, let me just do tonight's program, inshallah. So, inshallah, the Taraweeh will be continued by Sheikh Asim and Brother Bilal. Tahajjud will start at 2 a.m. And tonight, inshallah, Tahajjud will be led by our youth. As you know, we're doing very good progress with the Quran, inshallah. So Tahajjud will not be part of the Khatam al-Quran. The next two Tahajjuds will not be part of the Khatam al-Quran. Only Aisha and Taraweeh will. So tonight, inshallah, will be led by our youth. And then after Taraweeh, we have Quran Halaka. Sorry, not Quran Halaka. We have a Halaka by Brother Dr. Abdullah Brown. So please stick around after Taraweeh at 11:30 for Halaka, inshallah. Yeah, and tomorrow, as you all guys all know, tomorrow is Brother Dr. Kia Jahid. As you all guys all know, he's a very good speaker. So tomorrow he'll be here for Halaka after Taraweeh, inshallah. Tomorrow there's no iftar. Inshallah, Monday night, inshallah, we'll have iftar here. And we also have Monday night Eid celebration here. Tuesday morning will be Eid Salah here. 8 a.m. inshallah we'll start the program, and then we'll do Salah by 9:30 inshallah. And we have a very good program planned for kids. We have free toys actually arranged for the kids, so please join us for the celebration. Inshallah, it will be great. Khatam al-Quran, if you guys, as a reminder, is going to be tomorrow night. We had a very good Quran competition today, so all the kids who participated will get their awards tomorrow night. So the first, second, and third, and even all the kids will get certificates. So they're all welcome to come tomorrow. If anyone cannot make it and they participated, please contact us, and we'll arrange with you a meetup to give you the certificate, inshallah. Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll do the award ceremony after Isha, so before Taraweeh starts. Last but not least, Eid Festival is June 29th, Claude Moore Park. There are a couple of flyers here. Please pick them up, inshallah. It will be a great family event with moon bounces, kids activities, sports, and barbecue. So please join us, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
استووا اعتدلوا تراصوا سدوا الفرج أتموا الصف الأول. Again, if the kids can please go to the babysitting area. Inshallah, today we will start Surah Al-Muddathir. So we will start from the beginning of Surah Al-Muddathir. And because we're towards the end of the Quran, I'm sure that a lot of you have these last few juz memorized. But if the Imam makes a mistake, please allow the person right behind the Imam to correct him. Jazakumullah khairan. استووا اعتدلوا تراصوا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر والرجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر فإذا نقر في الناقور فذلك يومئذ يوم عسير على الكافرين غير يسير ذرني ومن خلقت وحيدا وجعلت له مالا ممدودا وبنين شهودا ومهدت له تمهيدا ثم يطمع أن أزيد كلا إنه كان لآياتنا عنيدا سأرهقه صعودا إنه فكر وقدر فقتل كيف قدر ثم قتل كيف قدر ثم نظر ثم عبس وبسر ثم أدبر واستكبر فقال إن هذا إلا سحر يؤثر إن هذا إلا قول البشر سأصليه سقر وما أدراك ما سقر لا تبقي ولا تذر لواحة للبشر عليها 19 وما جعلنا أصحاب النار إلا ملائكة وما جعلنا عدتهم إلا
فتنة للذين كفروا ليستيقن الذين أوتوا الكتاب ويزداد الذين آمنوا إيمانا ولا يرتاب الذين أوتوا الكتاب والمؤمنون وليقول الذين في قلوبهم مرض والكافرون ماذا أراد الله بهذا مثلا كذلك يضل الله من يشاء ويهدي من يشاء وما يعلم جنود ربك إلا هو وما هي إلا ذكرى للبشر كلا والقمر والليل إذ أدبر والصبح إذا أسفر إنها لإحدى الكبر نذيرا للبشر لمن شاء منكم أن يتقدم أو يتأخر كل نفس بما كسبت رهينة إلا أصحاب اليمين في جنات يتساءلون عن المجرمين ما سلككم في سقر قالوا لم نك من المصلين ولم نك نطعم المسكين وكنا نخوض مع الخائضين وكنا نكذب بيوم الدين حتى أتانا اليقين فما تنفعهم شفاعة الشافعين فما لهم عن التذكرة معرضين كأنهم حمر مستنفرة فرت من قسورة بل يريد كل امرئ منهم أن يؤتى صحفا منشرة كلا بل لا يخافون الآخرة كلا إنه تذكرة فمن شاء ذكره وما يذكرون إلا أن يشاء الله هو أهل التقوى وأهل المغفرة الله سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوامة أيحسب الإنسان أن لن نجمع عظامه بلى قادرين على أن نسوي بنانه بل يريد الإنسان ليفجر أمامه يسأل أيان يوم القيامة فإذا برق البصر وخسف القمر وجمع الشمس والقمر يقول الإنسان يومئذ أين المفر كلا لا وزر إلى ربك يومئذ المستقر ينبأ الإنسان يومئذ بما قدم وأخر بل الإنسان على نفسه بصيرة ولو ألقى معاذيره لا تحرك به لسانك لتعجل به إن علينا جمعه وقرآنه فإذا قرأناه فاتبع قرآنه ثم إن علينا بيانه كلا بل تحبون العاجلة وتذرون الآخرة وجوه يومئذ ناظرة إلى ربها ناظرة ووجوه يومئذ باسرة تظن أن يفعل بها فاقرة كلا إذا بلغت التراقي وقيل من راق وظن أنه الفراق والتفت الساق بالساق إلى ربك يومئذ المساق فلا صدق ولا صلى ولكن كذب وتولى ثم ذهب إلى أهله يتمطى أولى لك فأولى ثم أولى لك فأولى أيحسب الإنسان أن يترك سدى ألم يك نطفة من مني يمنى ثم كان علقة فخلق فسوى فجعل منه الزوجين الذكر والأنثى أليس ذلك بقادر على أن يحيي الموتى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه سميعا بصيرا إنا هديناه السبيل إما شاكرا وإما كفورا إنا أعتدنا للكافرين سلاسل وأغلالا وسعيرا إن الأبرار يشربون من كأس كان مزاجها كافورا عينا يشرب بها عباد الله يفجرونها تفجيرا يوفون بالنذر ويخافون يوما كان شره مستطيرا ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا إنا نخاف من ربنا يوما عبوسا قمطريرا فوقاهم الله شر ذلك اليوم ولقاهم نضرة وسرورا وجزاهم بما صبروا جنة وحريرا متكئين فيها على الأرائك لا يرون فيها شمسا ولا زمهريرا الله سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله استووا الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين ودانية عليهم ظلالها وذللت قطوفها تذليلا ويطاف عليهم بآنية من فضة وأكواب كانت قوارير من فضة قدروها تقديرا ويسقون فيها كأسا كان مزاجها زنجبيلا عينا فيها تسمى سلسبيلا ويطوف عليهم ولدان مخلدون إذا رأيتهم حسبتهم لؤلؤا منثورا وإذا رأيت ثم رأيت نعيما وملكا كبيرا عاليهم ثياب سندس خضر واستبرق وحلوا أساور من فضة وسقاهم ربهم شرابا طهورا إن هذا كان لكم جزاء وكان سعيكم مشكورا إنا نحن نزلنا عليك القرآن تنزيلا فاصبر لحكم ربك ولا تطع منهم آثما أو كفورا واذكر اسم ربك بكرة وأصيلا ومن الليل فاسجد له وسبحه ليلا طويلا إن هؤلاء يحبون العاجلة ويذرون وراءهم يوما ثقيلا نحن خلقناهم وشددنا أسرهم وإذا شئنا بدلنا أمثالهم تبديلا إن هذه تذكرة فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه سبيلا وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله إن الله كان عليما حكيما يدخل من يشاء في رحمته والظالمين أعد لهم عذابا أليما بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والمرسلات عرفا فالعاصفات عصفا والناشرات نشرا فالفارقات فرقا فالملقيات ذكرا عذرا أو نذرا إنما توعدون لواقع فإذا النجوم طمست وإذا السماء فرجت وإذا الجبال نسفت وإذا الرسل أقتت لأي يوم أجلت ليوم الفصل وما أدراك ما يوم الفصل ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ألم نهلك الأولين ثم نتبعهم الآخرين كذلك نفعل بالمجرمين ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ألم نخلقكم من ماء مهين فجعلناه في قرار مكين فقدرنا فنعم القادرون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ألم نجعل الأرض كفاتا أحياء وأمواتا وجعلنا فيها رواسي شامخات وأسقيناكم ماء ألم نجعل الأرض كفاتا أحياء وأمواتا وجعلنا فيها رواسي شامخات وأسقيناكم ماء فراتا ويل يومئذ للمكذبين الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين انطلقوا إلى ما كنتم به تكذبون انطلقوا إلى ظل ذي 3 شعب لا ظليل ولا يغني من اللهب إنها ترمي بشرر كالقصر كأنه جمالة صفر ويل يومئذ للمكذبين هذا يوم لا ينطقون ولا يؤذن لهم فيعتذرون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين هذا يوم الفصل جمعناكم والأولين فإن كان لكم كيد فكيدون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين إن المتقين في ظلال وعيون وفواكه مما يشتهون كلوا واشربوا هنيئا بما كنتم تعملون إنا كذلك نجزي المحسنين ويل يومئذ للمكذبين كلوا وتمتعوا قليلا إنكم مجرمون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين وإذا قيل لهم اركعوا لا يركعون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين فبأي حديث بعده يؤمنون بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا وجعلنا الليل لباسا وجعلنا النهار معاشا وبنينا فوقكم سبعا شدادا وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا وأنزلنا من المعصرات ماء ثجاجا لنخرج به حبا ونباتا وجنات ألفافا إن يوم الفصل كان ميقاتا يوم ينفخ في الصور فتأتون أفواجا وفتحت السماء فكانت أبوابا وسيرت الجبال فكانت سرابا إن جهنم كانت مرصادا للطاغين مآبا لابثين فيها أحقابا لا يذوقون فيها بردا ولا سلاما إلا حميما وغساقا لا يذوقون فيها بردا ولا شرابا إلا حميما وغساقا جزاء وفاقا إنهم كانوا لا يرجون حسابا وكذبوا بآياتنا كذابا وكل شيء أحصيناه كتابا فذوقوا فلن نزيدكم إلا عذابا الله سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. So I was talking today with a brother telling him that whenever the Imam started Ramadan reciting قد سمع الله قول التي تجادلك في زوجها, Ramadan are leaving. You find the Imam قد سمع الله, then end of 29th juz, then we are in Surah Al-Duha, Alhamdulillah, Khatm Dua. So today is the 28th night of Ramadan, and tomorrow is the Khatm. Tomorrow is the Khatm, inshallah, of the Quran. During the month, and this is subhanallah, the whatever happening in Ramadan, happening in our life. Ramadan is just an example. No one of us had a perfect ibadah in Ramadan. No one of us had a perfect khatm in Ramadan. You messed up here a little bit in this ayah, you forgot this harakah, this. But in the end, we still have a big hope in Allah Azza wa Jal that He's accepting our ibadat. If Allah Azza wa Jal is not accepting any ibadah, only perfect ibadat, that means we are in trouble. But Allah Azza wa Jal is accepting the ibadat with our taqseer if we are sincere. In our life, our iman level is not always high. Our ibadat outside of Ramadan is not always perfect. Our life is not perfect. But Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is telling us in the hadith that No one will enter the Jannah based to his amal, based to whatever he did in dunya. Then the Sahaba wanna make sure, حتى أنت يا رسول الله, even you, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, will not enter the Jannah based to his amal. He said, حتى أنا إلا أن يتغمدني الله برحمته. Allah Azza wa Jal have to bless me with His mercy, with His rahmah. And this is the key for Jannah. There is other hadith, Rasulullah mentioned it, about a man worshipped Allah Azza wa Jal in this dunya in unbelievable way. In the day of judgment, he found a mountains of hasanat, huge amount of hasanat. So he stand in front of Allah Azza wa Jal and he started to argue. And he asked Allah Azza wa Jal to deal with him based to adl. He asked Allah Azza wa Jal, no fadl. So Allah Azza wa Jal asked the malaika to just put all of his hasanat, all whatever he did in dunya, in the scale, and just one ni'mah, ni'matul nazar, just the vision, this ni'mah. What happened after that? All of his hasanat, boom, gone, because of just one ni'mah. This is how to deal with Allah Azza wa Jal. Second thing, so Allah is expecting your shortcomings. In the end, you are abd, da'if. Allah know that He is your creator. When He created malaika, He created them from nur, and He created them in a way they will never committed ma'asi. This is the malak creation. This is how Allah created the malak, to worship Allah Azza wa Jal. There is malaika, from the time Allah created them all the way to the day of judgment, they are in sujood position. But we humans, insan, is the creation which Allah Azza wa Jal, and Rasulullah telling us in the hadith, if you are not committing sins and ma'asi and making istighfar, Allah Azza wa Jal will bring people who will do that. So your duty is to always go back to Allah Azza wa Jal. Whenever shaitan make you fall in a trap of any ma'asi here and there, this is the way to deal with Allah Azza wa Jal. After Ramadan, 2 days after Ramadan, shayateen will come back and we will fall in ma'asi. Maybe we have stronger brothers who can hold it for a week. Some brothers will be very, very strong and they will fall in the ma'asi on the second day. In the end, Allah is expecting your fast ta'ah, your fast tawbah. And Allah is giving you in the Quran and the Hadith, Quran and Hadith, how to deal with that. إن الحسنات يذهبن السيئات وأتبع السيئة الحسنة معصية حسنة معصية حسنة. What the hasana will do, it will erase the معصية. This is, so ma'asi will come and I will keep erasing it till I meet with Allah Azza wa Jal, till my last minute in that life. Sayyat are coming from my nafs, from my shortcomings, from shaitan, but Allah give me the eraser. What's the eraser? Istighfar and hasanat. Inna al-hasanati yudhibna sayyat. This inshallah will be our slogan after Ramadan. Inna al-hasanati yudhibna sayyat. Hasanat, hasanat, hasanat. After any sayyah and without sayyah. Make hasanat inshallah azza wa jal. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وجزاكم الله خيرا.
استووا. Parents, please make sure your children are not distracting the Imam and the Musallin. جزاكم الله خير. الله أكبر. Oh man. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إن للمتقين مفازا حدائق وأعنابا وكواعب أترابا وكأسا دهاقا لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا كذابا جزاء من ربك عطاء حسابا رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما الرحمن لا يملكون منه خطابا يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة صفا لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن وقال صوابا ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا إنا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والنازعات غرقا والناشطات نشطا والسابحات سبحا فالسابقات سبقا فالمدبرات أمرا يوم ترجف الراجفة تتبعها الرادفة قلوب يومئذ واجفة أبصارها خاشعة يقولون أئنا لمردودون في الحافرة أئذا كنا عظاما نخرة قالوا تلك إذا كرة خاسرة فإنما هي زجرة واحدة فإذا هم بالساهرة هل أتاك حديث موسى إذ ناداه ربه بالوادي المقدس طوى اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى فقل هل لك إلى أن تزكى وأهديك إلى ربك فتخشى فأراه الآية الكبرى فكذب وعصى ثم أدبر يسعى فحشر فنادى فقال أنا ربكم الأعلى فأخذه الله نكال الآخرة والأولى إن في ذلك لعبرة لمن يخشى أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها رفع سمكها فسواها وأغطش ليلها وأخرج ضحاها والأرض بعد ذلك دحاها أخرج منها ماءها ومرعاها والجبال أرساها متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى يوم يتذكر الإنسان ما سعى وبرزت الجحيم لمن يرى فأما من طغى وآثر الحياة الدنيا فإن الجحيم هي المأوى وأما من خاف مقام ربه ونهى النفس عن الهوى فإن الجنة هي المأوى يسألونك عن الساعة أيان مرساها فيما أنت من ذكراها إلى ربك منتهاها إنما أنت منذر من يخشاها كأنهم يوم يرونها لم يلبثوا إلا عشية أو ضحاها. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله 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 أكبر. بسم الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. عبس وتولى أن جاءه الأعمى وما يدريك لعله يزكى أو يذكر فتنفعه الذكرى أما من استغنى فأنت له تصدى وما عليك ألا يزكى وأما من جاءك يسعى وهو يخشى فأنت عنه تلهى كلا إنها تذكرة فمن شاء ذكره في صحف مكرمة مرفوعة مطهرة بأيدي سفرة كرام بررة قتل الإنسان ما أكفره من أي شيء خلقه من نطفة خلقه فقدره ثم السبيل يسره ثم أماته فأقبره ثم إذا شاء أنشره كلا لما يقض ما أمره فلينظر الإنسان إلى طعامه أنا صببنا الماء صبا ثم شققنا الأرض شقا فأنبتنا فيها حبا وعنبا وقبا وزيتونا ونخلا وحدائق غلبا وفاكهة وأبا متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم فإذا جاءت الصاخة يوم يفر المرء من أخيه وأمه وأبيه وصاحبته وبنيه لكل امرئ منهم يومئذ شأن يغنيه وجوه يومئذ مسفرة ضاحكة مستبشرة ووجوه يومئذ عليها غبرة ترهقها قترة أولئك هم الكفرة الفجرة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا الشمس كورت وإذا النجوم انكدرت وإذا الجبال سيرت وإذا العشار عطلت وإذا الوحوش حشرت وإذا البحار سجرت وإذا النفوس زوجت وإذا الموءودة سئلت بأي ذنب قتلت وإذا الصحف نشرت وإذا السماء كشطت وإذا الجحيم سعرت وإذا الجنة أزلفت علمت نفس ما أحضرت فلا أقسم بالخنس الجوار الكنس والليل إذا عسعس والصبح إذا تنفس إنه لقول رسول كريم ذي قوة عند ذي العرش مكين مطاع ثم أمين وما صاحبكم بمجنون ولقد رآه بالأفق المبين وما هو على الغيب بضنين وما هو بقول شيطان رجيم فأين تذهبون إن هو إلا ذكر للعالمين لمن شاء منكم أن يستقيم وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله رب العالمين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. بسم الله. Parents, please take care of your children so that they don't distract the musallin. If the kids are old enough to pray, have them stand next to you in prayer and join us. If they're not old enough to pray, please put them in the babysitting in the back. Jazakumullah khair. Inshallah, there will be a sajda in the second rak'ah. Sajda in the second rak'ah. Staw. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إذا السماء انفطرت وإذا الكواكب انتثرت وإذا البحار فجرت وإذا القبور بعثرت علمت نفس ما قدمت وأخرت. يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك كلا بل تكذبون بالدين وإن عليكم لحافظين كراما كاتبين يعلمون ما تفعلون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم وإن الفجار لفي جحيم يصلونها يوم الدين وما هم عنها بغائبين وما أدراك ما يوم الدين ثم ما أدراك ما يوم الدين يوم لا تملك نفس لنفس شيئا والأمر يومئذ لله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويل للمطففين الذين إذا اكتالوا على الناس يستوفون وإذا كالوهم أو وزنوهم يخسرون ألا يظن أولئك أنهم مبعوثون ليوم عظيم يوم يقوم الناس لرب العالمين كلا إن كتاب الفجار لفي سجين وما أدراك ما سجين كتاب مرقوم ويل يومئذ للمكذبين الذين يكذبون بيوم الدين وما يكذب به إلا كل معتد أثيم إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين كلا بران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون كلا إنهم عن ربهم يومئذ لمحجوبون ثم إنهم لصالوا الجحيم ثم يقال هذا الذي كنتم به تكذبون الله سمع الله لمن حمده كما ينبغي الله 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 أكبر بسم الله الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين كلا إن كتاب الأبرار لفي عليين وما أدراك ما عليون كتاب مرقوم يشهده المقربون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم على الأرائك ينظرون تعرف في وجوههم نضرة النعيم يسقون من رحيق مختوم ختامه مسك وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون ومزاجه من تسنيم عينا يشرب بها المقربون إن الذين أجرموا كانوا من الذين آمنوا يضحكون وإذا مروا بهم يتغامزون وإذا انقلبوا إلى أهلهم انقلبوا فكهين وإذا رأوهم قالوا إن هؤلاء لضالون وما أرسلوا عليهم حافظين فاليوم الذين آمنوا من الكفار يضحكون على الأرائك ينظرون هل ثوب الكفار ما كانوا يفعلون بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا السماء انشقت وأذنت لربها وحقت وألقت ما فيها وإذا الأرض مدت وألقت ما فيها وتخلت وأذنت لربها وحقت يا أيها الإنسان إنك كادح إلى ربك كدحا فملاقيه فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه فسوف يحاسب حسابا يسيرا وينقلب إلى أهله مسرورا وأما من أوتي كتابه وراء ظهره فسوف يدعو ثبورا ويصلى سعيرا إنه كان في أهله مسرورا إنه ظن أن لن يحور بلى إن ربه كان به بصيرا فلا أقسم بالشفق والليل وما وسق والقمر إذا اتسق لتركبن طبقا عن طبق فما لهم لا يؤمنون وإذا قرئ عليهم القرآن لا يسجدون الله أكبر الله أكبر بل الذين كفروا يكذبون والله أعلم بما يوعون فبشرهم بعذاب أليم إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم أجر غير ممنون الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله 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 السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So my name is Abdullah Brown and I was asked to say a few words about how I came to Islam. So I'll try to keep it at 30 minutes, is that right? Roughly? Yeah. So, the short answer to the question, of course, is the same as for all of us, right? And the most encompassing answer, the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. The ayat of the Quran that comes to my mind, and I don't know it in Arabic, but I believe a reference is made to the people of Jannah who say, Alhamdulillah, who guided us to this, and never would we have been guided to this but for the mercy, the guidance of Allah Azza wa Jal, right? So that's the short answer and the most encompassing answer. In my case, I think that the hadith that comes to mind that is most pertinent with regard to the specifics of how, mashallah, tabarakallah, I came to Islam is the hadith that refers to Jannah being at the feet of the mothers. So I'll try to flesh out this story a little bit, and I think it'll become obvious why I feel that way. I was born and raised here. My father and mother were both raised as Quakers, kind of a bit of an obscure Protestant sect, but sort of more prominent than their numbers, very small numbers, but well known for their work in social justice and so on. So my parents were both raised in this, and my relatives, my ancestors going back more than 300 years or so, were raised in this religion, this little bit of an obscure Protestant sect. My father was a world-renowned scientist in his field, and like a lot of the scientists of his age and this age, he would take care to explain to us the difference between an atheist and an agnostic, and he would refer to himself as an agnostic. My mother would be sitting there kind of in the background in our lives as my brother and I were growing up, quietly telling us, well, I believe in a power greater than us. So that was an early influence from my mother. My brother and I grew up basically, I think he would agree with this, saying in large part, or at least during portions of our lives, the same thing that my father said. I think we would both refer to ourselves as having been, basically atheists during much of our lives. I like this saying amongst the Christians that an agnostic is sort of an atheist in their Sunday best clothes. So, but at any rate, life went on. I accumulated this and that and all the other, and really the transformative point in my life was when I got the phone call from a doctor. I'm a physician. I'm an anesthesiologist. My brother Lawrence Brown is a physician. He's an ophthalmologist. I got the call from a doctor. Basically, and I realized during the conversation pretty quickly that this doctor was trying to tell me that, look, we're going to operate on your mother tomorrow, but we're just not expecting her to survive. And I completely decompensated. I just went to pieces. Literally to this day, that was 33 years ago. Literally to this day, my friends will ask about my mother because every one of them got a call from me that night. I could not be there with her. I was 3,000 miles away. And I literally got out my Rolodex or whatever and called everybody I knew and cried on their shoulder. And it didn't help at all. I was basically just beside myself. I was also doing my first case in private practice the next day, scheduled to do that the next morning. And I couldn't get to sleep. I couldn't. And then I just prayed. And I said, oh God, if you save my mother and you show me the right way to live, I'll take it. And I must have fallen asleep right away after that. I felt peaceful, I felt calm, and I just went to sleep. So things went on. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, Allah Azza wa Jal saved my mother. She lived another 33 years almost. She passed away just 6 months ago. And actually, Imam Majid led her Salat al-Janaza. He also took my Shahada about 26 years ago. So, alhamdulillah, nice symmetry there. So Allah Azza wa Jal saved my mother, and then like a lot of these things, right, like a lot of us, I just go on with my life. I kind of forgot about my end of the bargain. But some other things happened later on in my life over the next few years in which I was confronted with situations that were frightening to me and that I didn't. And there was some corner of my brain that remembered, oh wait, no, that's what you pray. I said, oh yeah, okay, oh Lord, if you save my son and show me the right way, I'll take it. And I'd feel better and things would go well. So things gradually changed for me though. I remember that I started to develop a greater appreciation for the beauty of creation. And the things that men make seemed more ugly to me. I also started to develop this desire to read the Bible, which I found puzzling in a way. But I'd studied so many different religions as a younger man. I was in my 30s, by the way, at this time. I'd studied so many religions as a younger man, but I found it odd that I'd never read the Bible. Hadn't read the fundamental text of Judaism, Christianity. I studied something about Buddhism, Hinduism, Confucianism, Taoism, whateverism, but I hadn't done this. So somewhere along the line, I just felt increasingly drawn to read the Bible, and also somewhere along the line, I started to pray. And I just started to pray regularly, and not only when I was facing disaster, but I just started to pray regularly in the morning and the evening. And to this day, I still remember my prayer. And basically, I believe that I wasn't saying it this way, but the core of my prayer was basically, Ihdina Sirata Mustaqim. I knew that I had somehow missed out in life on finding the truth. I had money, I had position, I had blah, 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 blah. I had all these exciting but semi-ridiculous things that I was doing and blah, blah, blah. So, but I knew that I'd missed it. I'd missed out on finding the truth. I hadn't found it through science. I'd tried. I hadn't found it through art. I tried. I hadn't found it through money. I tried experiences, adventures. I just somehow had missed it. I also knew that I was in trouble, that my family was in trouble, that my society, my people were in trouble, that there was just a lot wrong. And so I started praying. And things started to get better. And then I did read the Bible, and I believed in it, believed in the Old Testament. I felt like I was Jewish in the sense that I believed in the Old Testament, I believed in the God of the Old Testament, the prophets of the Old Testament, peace be upon them, and I believed that I felt like I was Christian, and that I believed in the New Testament, the prophet of the New Testament, may peace be upon him. But I knew that if I went to a synagogue, they'd be like, no, you're not really one of us. And I knew that when I watched the televangelists on TV, it was like, well, no, they're not going to, we're not on the same vibe here. So I just kept on going. And actually, it was during reading the Bible, once I began to see the end in sight, and I felt like, I'm actually going to complete this project, I made up my mind that, when I'm done with this, I think maybe I should find out about that one other big religion out there, and then I'll be done, I will have completed my religious education, and I can just go on with my life, move on to the next subject. I like to read. So that's my approach to things. When I want to learn about something, I want to read about it. So when I want to learn about Judaism, Christianity, I wanted to read the Bible. So now there's Islam out there. I've studied this, that, and when I was a younger man, now it looks like I'm going to actually finish this project reading the Bible. So I'll tell you what, when we're done with this, let's read the Quran. I think that's the book to read, I'm pretty sure. I wasn't even 100% sure that Islam and Muslims were the same thing or went together. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. I thought maybe they were two different religions. And basically all I knew was the Quran was probably the book to read. So yeah, when I did get done with the Bible, then I called up the only Muslim I knew, an Egyptian surgeon I'd worked with. And to this day, I cannot even remember exactly how I knew he was Muslim. He was very smooth about how he'd worked that into the conversation during our professional life together. And he was very smooth. May Allah forgive him, have mercy on him. avert from him the punishment, the fire punishment, the grave, give him Jannat al-Firdaus al-A'la. He was very smooth in the way he dealt with me. So I gave him a call. He knew how to deal with white guys. So I gave him a call. He'd lived in the West, in Britain and the US for a long time. So I gave him a call and said, hey, Samir. Yeah, Steve, how you doing? I said, listen, I'm going on vacation. My family's not going with me. It's just me. I want something to keep me out of the bars at night. I wonder if you could recommend a translation of the Quran to read. Why do you want to do that? I said, well, because I want to learn something about Islam. He said, why? What do you want to do that for? I said, because I just want to learn something. I thought the Quran, isn't the Quran the book? Yeah, the Quran's the book to read. Look, just come on over. So, we had many wonderful evenings together. He answered some of the questions. He gave me a translation of the Quran, etc. So I'll try to speed it up. Basically, some of the high points are, another thing that was happening was regret. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, I remembered bad things, and I felt bad about them. I also felt gratitude. There was this increasing feeling of gratitude for all that I had, and this feeling of regret for bad things that I'd done. And I think those are important points on the path, right? And an increase in awe for whoever made all this when I would look at creation. So at any rate, I went on vacation, and I took this translation of Quran that Pickthall's translation, that Samir's father, may Allah have mercy on him, had actually told his son Samir, this is the one to give to English speakers. So I took that, and there were moments when I would be in the motel room there. It was a windsurfing ghetto, basically, on an island. So I would be in this motel room, and I'd be reading translation, and this strange feeling would come over me. Logically, I knew that I was the only person in this room. But this feeling of not being alone, of there being something else there, was so intense that on more than one occasion, and it was an exciting feeling. It was a little bit scary, but it was exciting mostly. But it was so compelling that I would get off the bed, put the book down, and go search out every nook and cranny of the motel room. I'd go and pull back the shower curtain, make sure there was nobody there, etc. Logically, I knew that nobody's there, right? But it was this feeling that I think Dr. Lang, Jeffrey Lang, refers to as, sometimes you're reading the Quran and then you realize you reach a point where you feel like it's reading you. There were definitely there were translations of certain ayah that definitely got my attention. I remember I would be basically skimming it while drinking khamr, incidentally. But I would reach a point where my eyes would just fall on this translation of an ayah, and I couldn't move on. I would just be sitting there, lying there, whatever, reading it, and thinking, wait a minute. What is this? How did anybody know this 1,400, whatever years ago? I don't get it. Where did this come from? I knew Samir's answer to that. I didn't buy it for a moment, and he knew I didn't buy it, and that was impressive to me about him, that he was just upfront stating the truth without, even though he knew that a lot of people would hold some kind of ridicule or contempt for it. But I knew from my first meeting, so who wrote this? Because that's what I asked, right? I'm coming from the perspective of the Bible, where different books are ascribed to different authors, right? So I asked Samir, who wrote the Quran? He said, God wrote the Quran. And he knew that I wouldn't. But anyway, so I knew Samir's answer, but the point is that basically I would look at these ayat and I would just, it definitely got my attention. Then somewhere along the line in the reading, I came to one of the ayat that mentions sajda, in English prostration, right? And I suddenly realized, wait a minute, there have been quite a number of these. you know what? I think actually I'm supposed to do this. I mean, I think I'm supposed to do something here. I thought, yeah, that's probably right. And then I got this kind of excited feeling about it. And so I didn't know what sajda is. I didn't know what prostration is. I only knew the medical meaning, right? So I said, okay, let's go for it. So there I am prostrating on this sandy floor of the motel there, this windsurfing place. And I'm just prostrate on the ground. And there was some part of me that knew that, you know what, I don't think I'm nailing this. This is not quite right. But it feels exciting. It feels like I've done something I'm supposed to do. So I went on and then went back to Samir when I got home. And of course, wanted to know. There are some other things here too. I definitely believed La ilaha illallah. That resonated for me so strongly from the Bible. If somebody had asked me, I remember this very clearly. If somebody asked me, okay, Steve, so you've read the Bible, now listen, great. I don't want all the do's and don'ts. Just give me the one single most important lesson. If anyone had asked me that, that was very clear to me. And that was, yeah, do not, just don't do it, not under any circumstance. Don't worship anything but God. That's the most important message from the Bible. Old Testament, New Testament, that's it. You get that, you've nailed it. The other stuff, it's important, but this is the single most important lesson. So when I came to the translation of something of the meaning of the Quran, and you find that lesson reinforced, you can hardly read a page without that being reinforced, that definitely got my attention. One other thing I want to mention from my reading of the Quran, my first reading of the Quran, was that definitely got my attention was that at some point it dawned on me that, hey, wait a minute. The Bible, it's like there are these two different portions of the Bible. There's some portions that seem to be written in what I could imagine to be the language of God, and then there are other portions that are so obviously the language of man, many of which, frankly, are kind of boring. I mean, there are, and many Christians will agree, and there are portions that are transcendently beautiful, and then there are portions that are boring. And at some point in reading the Quran, I realized, wait, hang on. I'm seeing the one type of language here, but I don't remember reading any of the other. So then I started to pay closer attention, and just pay closer attention. And I started trying to find the passage that was written in the language of man, and I couldn't find it. That definitely made an impression. So then I go home, I give Samir another call. He invites me over again. He gives me a lot of Turkish coffee again. We definitely enjoyed that. And then, of course, I want to know something about, well, who is this guy, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And he gave me Martin Ling's book. Again, I was later to find that it was his father, may Allah have mercy on him, a judge in Egypt, who had told his son, okay, you're living in the West. This is the book in English on the Sirah that you should give people. So he loaned me Martin Ling's book on the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's what got me at an emotional level. I come from an intellectual background. My parents were all both highly intellectual. The culture at home was very much that way. There was a lot of emphasis on thinking, on logic, and blah, 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 blah. But what got me at an emotional level was reading Martin Ling's book. I could hardly read certain passages aloud without crying. And I think, to put my finger on it, what I found so compelling was the devotion of these people, the Sahabi, that once they bought in, if you will, they were just all in. And I found that really compelling. I think in my heart I knew that I was Muslim relatively quickly. I prayed what I often think of as the most important istikhara prayer of my life. I didn't know anything about istikhara. I didn't know the word istikhara. I didn't know how to make wudu. I didn't know to pray 2 rakah. I was making prostration flat on the floor, flat on my face. But I prayed more than once that, oh God, I think I'm Muslim. If I'm supposed to be Muslim, make me Muslim. If I'm supposed to be Christian, make me Christian. If I'm supposed to be nothing, make me nothing. If I'm supposed to be Jew, make me Jew, or whatever. And anyway, that just things went on, and then, long story short, I wound up having a reason to come to Washington, D.C., and for some reason, somebody had recommended to me I would pester your brother. I would pester Muhammad Sultan there, who was an imam at the masjid in Tampa Bay. I would pester him with questions, and he was very patient with me. May Allah have mercy on him. He was patient with me, and he was very good at dealing with challenging questions and so on. So may Allah reward him with the best. And someone along the lines recommended, for some reason, that I talk to some sheikh here in D.C. I think I was just sort of driving people nuts with all my questions. And to my knowledge, I don't even remember who the sheikh was, but I wind up having to come to D.C. to help my parents out in settling the estate of my great aunt who had just passed. So I came to D.C., and the first thing I did basically was head to the masjid, the Islamic Center on Massachusetts Avenue. And I met with some Sudanese dude, and he just kept gently suggesting that I go ahead and take the Shahada, and I agreed. So, and that turned out to be Imam Majid, and in his significantly younger years, and me in my significantly younger years. And then things just went from there. So the turning point was this experience with my mother, thinking, knowing that she knew she was dying. She told me many times later, I knew I was dying. That's all I knew. And so I had this experience with my mother. My parents were resistant. Jazakallah khair. My parents were resistant for quite some time, but they spent their last years here with us, and my father said the Shahada shortly before he passed, and Imam Majid led his Salah 4 years ago. My mother loved to listen to recitation of Quran. She said the Shahada over and over again. And she wanted to be buried as a Muslim, and she passed 6 months ago. A sister was pointing out to me at her janazah, she said, SubhanAllah, how generous Allah Azza wa Jal is. You made dua that Allah Azza wa Jal save her. You meant in this life, and He did save her in this life. But inshallah, He saved her in akhirah also. So, I'd never thought of that. I thought, SubhanAllah, you're absolutely right. And then again, paradise lies at the feet of the mothers, right? So here, my relationship with my mother, mashallah, tabarakallah, played such a key role in my getting out of some nonsense and coming to Islam. My brother became Muslim about 6 months later. God only knows how many people have come to Islam through his work, and other members of the family becoming Muslim. So, subhanAllah, how hopefully, may Allah Azza wa Jal give us Jannah. Hopefully, in a very literal sense of the word, paradise lies at the feet of the mother for myself, for my brother, for our children, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So may Allah Azza wa Jal choose us and not discard us, use us and not replace us. May Allah Azza wa Jal flood His religion with my people and make us the strength of His religion for a long, long time to come. Ameen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ashabihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah. Ameen. Yes. Well, certainly one of them was, certainly the repeated reference to the fact there's nothing worthy of worship but Allah Azza wa Jal. That's one of them. I kind of hesitate to mention the specifics of what struck me because it's so different for different people. But so it's just, my background, things that I had studied before impacted. So my background in science, there were certain things that got my attention. But actually, the two in particular at that time, one was riba. I'm staring at this strict prohibition of riba, and I'm wondering, wait a minute, this is the desert. I mean, I felt like in my previous studies, I'd come to understand something of the evil of interest, of the central banking system as it exists, as is dominant, the dominant economic system, financial system of the world today. I felt like I had, from previous studies, come to understand that. Now I'm staring at this book that is so strictly prohibiting that. And I'm thinking, it's the middle of the desert in Arabia, 1400 years. How do they know how the evils that would be associated with this system? So that was one thing that got my attention. And then, yeah, there were others. So, yeah. But I guess one thing that I would emphasize is that it was such a beautiful time in my life and such beautiful feelings. I felt like I was the only person on the face of the earth who was actually worshiping Allah Azza wa Jal the way he should be, although I didn't know how to say Allah Azza wa Jal. And I guess I would just say that for ourselves and for our children, there's a tendency to want to do everything just right and to have our children understand things this way and that way and memorize this and memorize that and do this and do that. And all that is good. But I think we have to try to leave ourselves and others room to have their own adventure, basically. Their own personal connection with Islam, with Allah Azza wa Jal, with his book, with his messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and so on. And so for all of the scholarship that's out there and so on, for us to try to maintain and develop that connection of reading ourselves and just enjoying the adventure and the connection ourselves and trying to nurture that. Allahu Alam. Yeah, my brother is Lawrence Brown, and he has a website, leveltruth.com. He has a bunch of websites, but if you go to leveltruth.com, you can access everything. He's worked with Sheikh Zakir Nayak and with Eddie with the Dean Show, and so he's a lot of videos out there, a lot of writings. He has a number of books on comparative religion and works of nonfiction and also works of fiction in which he tried to deliver something of the message of Islam to English speakers, and a lot of articles too about Islam. So yeah, those can be accessed from his website, leveltruth.com. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, so many people have benefited from his writing. So many people from so many different countries have become Muslim, MashaAllah, tabarakallah. And of course, I get some kind of delight, as an older brother would, in remembering his first words to me when I told him I'd become Muslim. So we were having our normal conversation. We lived far apart from each other, and we were far apart figuratively too, but tried to maintain that connection. So we were having our usual phone conversation. Hey, how's it going? How's work? How's the family? How's this? How's that? What's new? Etc. So when it was his turn to ask, so what about you? What's new for you? I said, yeah, let's see, wait. Oh yeah, I became Muslim this week. So the first words out of his mouth after no words out of his mouth were, Steve, you are too strange. And that was it. Conversation ended pretty soon after that. But a few weeks later, after a little uncomfortable conversation, he did say, okay, so what is it you towel heads believe anyway? So things went from there, and mashallah, tabarakallah, 6 months later, he'd become Muslim. And And yeah, alhamdulillah. So leveltruth.com. Well, you know, it's from Allah Azza wa Jal, right? The guidance is from Allah Azza wa Jal. Believe me, my brother was the last person I thought would become Muslim in my family. And I find that very interesting. So I remember making dua. I make dua for this person to become Muslim, for my parents to become Muslim, and then I would literally add my brother only because I thought, well, come on, he's your brother, you got to. But some corner of my brain was, yeah, right. And then he was the first of these people that I was praying for. He was the first to become Muslim. And I felt like, yeah, that's a strong lesson for me right there. I mean, just never, ever, ever presume to know what's going to happen there. Yeah. So, my dad in particular was angry, especially after my brother had become Muslim. And I got the blame, which I kind of enjoyed, you know. Hey, cool. So, but then, you know, his two boys had become Muslim. So, and he felt like, okay, that's the end of the line. So, I don't know. Allahu Alam. I mean, we would make dua, and we had dreams, myself, my brother, our wives, and so on, that seemed to be very encouraging. But then, as for what was in front of our faces and what we were hearing, certainly didn't seem like they were becoming Muslim anytime soon. But eventually, they reached a point where they were willing to move out here, and they weakened health-wise, and I guess just mashallah tabarakallah became more willing to, open to listening, or yeah. And there were, I won't go into all the details, but there were some experiences that were amazing to me. I just didn't understand what happened. So far as I could tell, a particular member, a couple of members of our community who had hosted them and been very kind to them, I'm sure that they also were making dua. And I just saw things in front of my eyes in rapid succession that I found amazing. I mean, certainly I was kind of flabbergasted. So, Allahu Alam.
You mentioned that your mother liked to listen to the Quran before she accepted Islam.
No, after. Yeah, but maybe before too, actually. She did seem to, she liked it when time to prayer came, and I would tell her, Mom, I got to get prayed up, and she'd be like, okay, dear, yeah, I like it when you pray in my room, and so, yeah. I don't know. Actually, she liked it when as far as I could tell, she liked hearing Quran, but then she also liked it when I would sing to her my best version of Yusuf Islam's, that song where he's singing La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah. That's kind of how I put Mom to sleep, actually. It was my version of a lullaby. Like some nights I would be like La ilaha illallah 4 times right, and then Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, right? And she seemed to like that, so I was like, okay, definitely stick with that. So, yeah. Alhamdulillah. So we hope for the best. Yeah. Just what I try to remind myself that, first of all, not to prejudge myself. It's just not fair. I mean, I have no clue what's going on in this person's life. They could appear very proud. They could appear very confident. They could put up this picture that their life is great, that everything's wonderful. I could think, okay, well, this is hopeless. I mean, they're just entrenched in whatever they're doing. But that's just not necessarily the case. I have no clue. I don't know what's actually going on inside their chest, inside their homes, inside their... I just don't know. So it's just getting it out there that, hey, there is another way. Yeah. Just to deliver the message of Islam as in as straightforward a way as possible. Yeah. I do feel like for entrenched Christians, for serious Christians, my brother's works are just fabulous. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. So, one woman described, a British woman described how she came to Islam as basically just getting sick of dealing with the Catholic Church. She was very active in her church. But she said, she described her process in coming to Islam as, I just got sick of it, dealing with what was going on in my church. And your brother's books just beat me down. So. Well, the title of his original work, which I really like, was First and Final Commandment. And I'm laughing because I've had the pleasure of reading first drafts of his books, and you're reading portions of the books, and I would be laughing till I hurt, and I would know that that part was going to get edited out, that nobody would allow him to actually publish that. But so I had the pleasure of reading. He can really get going, and he can be very, very funny when he gets ripping along. But First and Final Commandment, I mean, basically the book is just stressing that, hey, this has always been the first and final commandment, La ilaha illallah. Here it is in the Old Testament, here it is in the New Testament, Jazakallah khair. Deal with it, you know? Now, since then, he broke the book up into two, and one is called Godded, and the other one Misgodded. And that's my brother for you. He knew I wasn't too crazy about the titles, but like he could care about that. But I would strongly recommend those books. And then he's got a lot of short articles on comparative religion and dealing with the arguments of Christianity, basically, in large part. Recently, he's been working on trying to deal with the atheist agenda. So there are lectures of his on that available. Yeah. So the brother's asking, after becoming Muslim, how did I find the journey and learning about Islam and so on? And I don't know what to say exactly because it's just an ongoing process, right? I did find that, of course, every Jamaat makes their pitch, right? Makes their dawah. So you hear it all. Personally, I felt like, definitely a transformative experience for me. It was just such a relief. Some brothers, as I was leaving a masjid, some brothers put in my hand a cassette tape, right? Well, like, how many of these do you get? So somebody's always handing you a pamphlet or a DVD or a cassette tape or whatever. And I'm just looking at the guy. He said, it's in English. I said, well, that's good, because that's the only language I understand. He said, just listen to it. I said, maybe. I'll take it. I went home, I put it in the cassette deck, and it was Sheikh Ali al-Tamimi, his series of lectures on Al-Aqidah al-Wasitiyah, Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah. And that was an ecstatic experience for me because I felt like finally somebody's just laying it out for me, the actual core here of the religion. This is Tawheed. This is not Tawheed. This is called Shirk. Do this, don't do that. These are the deviations, and they're characterized by this. You can go astray in this direction, in that direction, in this way, and that way. This is how you should worship. This is what, don't change it. And I was like, that personally for me was just enormously helpful. May Allah Azza wa Jal protect him and save him. And the work of Sheikh Jamal al-Din Zarabozo. So those two, in particular from early on, and Bilal Phillips, may Allah Azza wa Jal protect them, mercy on them. I found, reward them with the best. I found enormously helpful, and I felt like that it was orienting me to, okay, I knew that Islam was my religion. Now, finally, somebody's explaining to me what my religion is. And that I found that, mashallah, tabarakallah, very helpful in orienting me. Yeah. No worries.
What is the Quran?
Yeah, sorry? What? No problem.
What is the Quran translation that you read? You named it.
So I read Marmaduke Pickthall's translation. So yes, he went by Muhammad, but his name was Marmaduke Pickthall. He also took the name Muhammad. He was a British, or I believe of the 19th century, I believe the 1800s, or maybe early 1900s, who became Muslim, and who wrote a translation, and who argued. He actually is the one who argued passionately to the scholars of his time, the scholars of Al-Azhar in particular, that no. This is not kufr to seek to translate something of the meaning of the Quran into other languages. As a matter of fact, it's necessary. And he went to Al-Azhar and he persuaded the sheikh there of his position, and they wound up endorsing his work. So he played a key role in getting past this notion that it's somehow kufr to translate something of the meaning of the Quran. I mean, granted, there's no way you can translate the Quran, right? But you can convey something, some shadows of the meaning in another language. Much of the nuance will be lost, the literary perfection will be lost, but you can translate something of the meaning, and I'm, living testimony to that.
Second question is, how do you tend to believe, reading from the Bible, that there's only one God? Because the
Yeah.
Christians I talk to, they still believe in the...
Yeah, so I think that I believed that, I believed in God before starting to read the Bible. I was praying. I mean, like I say, to this day, I remember the prayer. And I was addressing my prayer to God.
What was Jesus to you back then, before you became Muslim?
Well, like a lot of reverts that I've met. Now, I was not raised in a church. I was not raised in Sunday schools. I wasn't dealing with priests. I wasn't dealing with Sunday schools. But a lot of reverts that I know who were, they relate that as children they never really bought into the Trinity concept and so on. But they learned to stop asking questions because the big people would get angry with them eventually if they kept asking questions. Then when they learned about Islam, it's like, and that was something my brother said. Okay, so what is it you towelheads believe anyway? So I start telling him this and that. And he asks this question and that question, and I gave whatever answers I gave. After he had become Muslim, he said, well, Steve, do you remember what you said when I asked you this and when I asked you that? And I said, well, not really. And he said, well, I asked you this and you said that. I asked you this, you said that. That's what I always believed. I just didn't know there were other people out there who believed this. So, Jamia. Yeah, so both my brother and I had children, both from previous marriages. We're no longer married to the mothers, but we were both married at that time. No, I understand. My brother's story was particularly dramatic. Literally, he made Hajj, a little more than a year after he became Muslim. Actually, yeah. So then he gets home, arrives at the airport, gets his car, drives out to the house, opens the door. Hey, honey, I'm home. Honey? The house is empty. And literally, my father paid for her lawyer and so on. That put a little strain on the relationship. So she had taken the kids and I guess pretty much everything else. Next thing he knows, he's being served with a restraining order. And he was so cool about the whole thing. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. He just dealt with it very, very well. So his story is just kind of dramatic that way. That was served as a strong impetus for him to write that first book, First and Final Commandment. He wanted it to be available for his daughters, who he knew were being raised as Catholic. So he wanted them to have this available to them. Yeah, so subhanAllah, how many people have benefited from that book? And that's something that came out of this difficult situation for him. Really the first person who became Muslim in my family, the way I see it, after myself was my oldest child, my son, Ahmed. He changed his name to Ahmed along the way. So he was about 6 or 7 years old when I became Muslim. And he just started praying Fajr with me, getting up with me and praying Fajr and this and that and the other. And his mother came to me one day and said, have you asked your son to talk to me about Islam? I said, no. She said, do you know who he is? I said, no. Yeah, he tells me, Mom, have you become Muslim yet? I said, no. Mom, you should. So that's Ahmed. Then my brother was a little after that. But, okay, so we're no longer married, but actually his mother became Muslim, mashallah. And she was very active and played a key role in some translation projects of the Quran and such. So alhamdulillah. So you know how you see these conversion stories, these articles about how I came to Islam? So at one point or another, you've kind of feel like maybe you've read enough of them. One day my eyes came across one of these articles. And I thought, yeah. And then I see the byline, and it's Ahmed's mom. And I thought, oh, you know what? I think this one I'm going to read. Yeah, I definitely would like to understand what exactly happened here. So she related that, yeah, you know, my husband, my former husband, he became Muslim, and so I thought the devil had taken him away, and I tried everything I could to get him out of Islam and back, and I'm reading this and I'm thinking, yeah, that's a pretty accurate description. And then she relates that finally I realized there's only one way to deal with this guy. I've got to read the Quran, find the problems with it, and explain it to him. So that's how she came to Islam, mashallah. Yeah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, alhamdulillah. So, yeah. 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 Yeah, my brother, mashallah, tabarakallah. Does anybody know Ahmed Saad? Yeah. Ahmed Saad was kind of with my brother through that process. They were both living in Albuquerque. So Ahmed Saad lived through that with my brother, and may Allah Azza wa Jal reward him, I think was much helpful to him. So when my father passed on, when my father passed on, Ahmed Saad was with us, washing him. And he said at one point, he's teaching me and my son Ahmed how to wash my father and Ahmed's grandfather. And Ahmed Saad was saying, at one point while he's washing, and he said, SubhanAllah, he said, I hated this man because I was with your brother when he went through this. And he said, SubhanAllah, how things can change. And now I'm washing him for janazah. Yeah. But very dear feelings, obviously, in my heart for Ahmed Saad and his family. So, yeah. Yeah. No. His, we both feel like his ex-wife will. We both had dreams, and obviously don't pretend to be of those who understand dreams. I think at the same time it's fair to say that when there are certain characteristics of what is a real dream. Now, as for what the meaning is, Allahu Alam. So it certainly just seemed like that was the message of the dream, is eventually she'd become Muslim. Hasn't happened yet, to my knowledge, but inshallah, Carmen, may Allah Azza wa Jal guide Carmen and Chrissy and Hannah to Islam, and yeah, Ameen. Yeah. Now, my brother had a very powerful experience, very similar to the one with my mother, with his daughter Hannah. She was it was clear that she was in serious trouble when she was born, and my brother went to pieces. This happened about 4 years after my experience with my mother, and he had no clue what I went through with my mother. I never talked about it with him. And I had no clue what he went through with his daughter. So, but he went through it, he went to pieces, he fell apart, he went to the chapel there in the hospital and prayed basically the same thing I prayed. Oh God, if you save my daughter, I'll do it. Just show me what to do and I'll do it. So we had these parallel experiences without knowing about each other's experiences. I was aware that he was religion shopping. In our conversations, I knew that he was shopping for religion. I was not. I believed that the truth, whatever it is and wherever it is, would not be in a religion that had a recognizable name. That was my feeling. He was religion shopping, I was not. I wound up becoming Muslim. He wound up telling me that I'm too strange. 6 months later, he's Muslim. A bit more than a year after that, he and I are standing there at the Jamarat after we'd shaved our heads and we're both in Jalabiyah. And he's saying, so what do you think, Steve? Should we take a picture of us together and send it to Dad? His 2 boys, bald and in dresses? What do you think? That's a great idea, Larry. I think we'll skip that one. Yeah. Let's let things die down a little bit and then we'll, maybe we can laugh about it later. Maybe Dad will be more in the mood sometime down the road. Yeah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah who guided us to this, and never would we have been guided to it but for the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal, but for the guidance of Allah Azza wa Jal. May He keep us in Islam and strengthen us and our children and our descendants, our line. Yeah. Yeah, Ameen. Jazakallah khair.